I envision a world where women are leaders, where it is safe enough to walk alone without fear, where every girl is educated and can choose the path she desires, a world without gendered expectations. The world we have today is blanketed by the notion of it being an empathetic and inclusive one, which I do believe we are striving to achieve. However, that begins with equal rights, education, and safety for all. India has over 100 million adolescent girls. Then why is it that 23% drop out due to lack of toilets, menstrual hygiene products, or simply because they're expected to take care of their siblings?
What if all of you girls, and even you boys, sitting here today, were told to stop attending school? I know it may seem like a break from the never-ending homework.
But in the end, it's unimaginable, isn't it? Fortunately, this question is hypothetical for us. But for many girls around the world, it is not. It is their reality, and what we consider a right is what they consider a privilege. Namaste. My name is Shreya Nair, and I'm a 16-year-old student who may be young, but has huge aspirations for what I picture the future to look like. I've been supported by my family, inspired by my great-grandmothers, who were extremely educated despite the social confinements of the time, and have been alarmed by horrifying statistics. All of these aspects fueled my desire to make a change and to help girls take control of their lives. With that in mind, I, alongside my best friend Delisha Soni, that's her on the screen, co-founded a student-led organization called the SHIE Initiative. It began with just an idea and a notebook. It was just us with no team and no funds, but a will to uplift underprivileged girls. SHE stands for See, Her, Empowered, a phrase that encapsulates our entire mission in just 3 words. As simple as the word she may be, it is equally profound. Firstly, we must see her and acknowledge that every girl has a dream, a vision of what she would like to accomplish. The next step is action, whether it is through education, skill building, or even just listening. And that is exactly what we at SHE aim to achieve. The first workshop we conducted was a small literacy program called Shiksha Ki Shakti, where we read stories and donated books to a few underprivileged girls. We created a safe space where they could express themselves through song and dance uninhibitedly. I couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment while watching their faces light up as they read the stories of fairies and folklore. Are there any bookworms in the audience? I'm sure you'll resonate with the feeling. My entire life, I've been immersed in novels, especially fantasy ones, battling dragons and befriending elves. And the one commonality between most of the books I read is a strong female protagonist, like Annabeth Chase and Ju Duarte. Such characters have influenced my perception and made me the person I am today. My hope is that girls can be just as motivated by these stories as I was. We then conducted numerous self-defense workshops under the campaign Surakshit Kadam, where we taught girls and over 60 female staff of our very own school, TheShriramMillenniumSchoolNoida, basic self-defense techniques that can be utilized if necessary. While it is a form of protection, it is also a gateway to feeling more confident and empowered. To put things into perspective, I'd like to share with you a personal experience of mine. When I was 7 years old, Mama and I were strolling the streets of a very congested market. I remember her telling me, "Keep your fists closed," with the intention of having some form of protection. Today, I walk across any road with my fists closed. However, not out of fear, but instead with the assurity that I can protect myself. And that is due to my formal training in karate. And that is why we focus so much on self-defense techniques and how to be mentally strong and prepared. It can be difficult to know whether you're making a difference or not, whether you've made an impact in someone's life. But there was one moment I will never forget that made me believe we were on the right path. At one of the self-defense workshops,
Two didis, or domestic staff, approached us, asking whether we would be back the next day to conduct the session again. They wanted to send their daughters to learn self-defense. They wanted them to be equipped to handle the dangers of the world. They wanted them to learn from us. It was such a surreal and gratifying moment to see the ripple effect the SHE initiative was having. In today's day and age, it is so easy to stay connected via social media and to be aware of what's happening around us. So, in order to amplify our message, we utilize social media to spread awareness and to share the stories of the girls that we have impacted. Some of which you can see on the screen over here. This is just the beginning of the SHE initiative. From covering topics like menstrual health to cervical cancer awareness workshops, we still have miles to go. The theme of building a society around empathy really spoke to me. It encapsulates everything I stand for and everything the SHE initiative is really about. It is by embracing such feelings of empathy and compassion that we are truly able to selflessly commit towards bettering the lives of underprivileged girls. But why the need to educate girls in the first place? This may seem like a redundant question, but in certain sections of society, it still has to be addressed. Well, research shows that for every additional year of schooling for a girl, her future earnings are likely to increase by 20%. And when a mother is educated, her children are twice as likely to attend school. Education not only transforms the life of a single girl, but of the many generations to follow, providing them with such inspirational role models. It opens up a realm of possibilities where girls can grow up to be like Ada Lovelace, who was a mathematician in the 1800s and is regarded as the first computer programmer, a century before modern computers even existed. Educating girls means investing in a future filled with new possibilities, new innovations, and new perspectives. Girls should be studying. Girls should be laughing. Girls should not have to look over their shoulder. Girls should be working towards their goals. And while we are incredibly grateful and privileged to have that opportunity, many girls do not. The solution may seem extremely complex and multi-layered, with government reforms and global initiatives. But in actuality, it's quite simple. My path is clear to me. I will continue to educate, inspire, empower, and basically do whatever I can to help young girls reach their true potential. Where does your path take you? I hope my small step has inspired a few of you here today to not be passive and to open your eyes to what is really happening around you. I'm compelled to repeat a line from my favorite TV show, Agents of S.H.E.L.D., where Gemma Simmons, who just happens to be a very talented biochemist, says, "The steps you take don't need to be big. They just have to take you in the right direction." I hope the direction you turn towards involves bettering the lives of young underprivileged girls who need and seek education and skills. That can be through volunteering just 1 hour a week at a local NGO, teaching them basic maths, English, or Hindi, or even just sharing their stories on social media. And don't forget to use your voice. Challenge stereotypes. Call out injustice, because real change begins with communication. I envision a world where Munni, who we met at our first literacy workshop, becomes the police officer she dreams to be. But let's not limit ourselves to just one girl. In order to do so, we must use our voices for good, as a medium for change. Because empathy is not just a feeling, it's an action. Thank you.